Throughout history, there's been the persecution of new thinkers and a lot of martyrdom for people who have stretched the limits of our understanding of life in the universe. It's through that process that science and really all the philosophy of life has evolved. I got turned on to homeopathy in my first year of medical school. I'd been accepted at Stanford, and I did a preceptorship and saw cases cured homeopathically that I had just been taught were incurable. Being young and very idealistic and naive, I thought, this is amazing. I want to bring that back to Stanford. So I arranged for a conference. As a result of my putting on this lecture, they started harassing me. They made all kinds of accusations that were unsubstantiated and made me take an entire year of medical school again. I found out later from my lawyer who investigated the whole situation that they had planned this to bankrupt me before I even got out of practice. After 4 years and 11 months of medical school, I was not allowed to graduate.
Throughout history, human evolution has been marked by the search for a higher understanding of the universe. Each breakthrough built upon the last. Another step towards greater order. But with even the brightest minds, our work has sometimes taken equal steps backwards. And the very same brilliant hunger that drives us forward is so often misused for fraud and profit. It is our responsibility to audit every claim.
I want to tell you a little bit about why I decided to study homeopathy. I think the story is very important. I had asthma for many years. I had been treating my asthma, and it would go away, but it wouldn't go away completely. So in 1993, I was going camping with our kids, and I felt myself breaking out with poison ivy. But I felt good. I didn't feel sick. And as soon as the redness in my arms went away, my asthma completely disappeared. I couldn't believe it. What does asthma look like in the lungs histologically? The editor of the New England Journal of Medicine's response was, poison ivy in your lungs. And there was this eureka moment like, oh my gosh, did I take this inflammation from my lungs and move it to my arms and get it out of my system? So I was determined to study classical homeopathy to understand why this happened.
At a time when trends push healthcare to the front of global politics, consuming more research funds than any other science, homeopathy has become the second most common medicine around the globe. Using a principle discovered in ancient Greece, where similar symptoms cancel each other, it has shown revolutionary ways to heal diseases otherwise incurable. But it operates on such a subtle level that modern medicine still seeks to understand it. And the doctors who've used its methods have suffered more than 200 years of persecution.
In 2003, I rescued a horse. They basically said he'll be dead in 3 days. Getting a lot of ozone, getting a homeopathy, getting support. He lived 8.5 years jumping in horse shows. So to me, that was a success. The veterinary board, they wouldn't see it. They said he should have been euthanized. And I thought it was wrong because I didn't do anything wrong to save my horse's life. But because I stood up, the veterinary board was informed to get rid of Dr. Roman. And I've spent over $1.6 million on legal stuff torn apart and prejudiced completely because I was doing something alternative.
The institutions of our government have been used as political weapons against holistic practitioners.
I'm a family physician. Going through the mechanics of conventional medicine, I became a bit disenchanted with what seemed to be limited results and studied at the Athenian School of Homeopathic Medicine. I then went to work in Western North Carolina, announcing to the world I was a homeopath. A few months later, I had an unsolicited visit, investigators for the North Carolina Board of Medical Examiners. I then got a subpoena to appear for a formal procedure where I was being charged with a failure to practice acceptable and prevailing medicine. There was no instance of a patient complaint. There was no assertion that anything I had done was unsafe. That first hearing, when I began to talk about homeopathy, its efficacy, I was at that point interrupted, and they said, well, we're not making homeopathy the prime subject of this investigation, but rather your competence as a physician. So they proceeded to ask me a lot of medical questions, which I knew the answer to. I had a number of internal medicine physicians, and then I had a number of patients who testified as to the benefit they achieved from homeopathy that they hadn't elsewhere. It was truly a battle of philosophies. The board then charged me with unprofessional conduct, which was defined as failing to practice according to acceptable and prevailing standards. Rather than pulling my license, they offered me conditional probation, wherein I could remain in North Carolina practicing conventional medicine as long as I abandoned my homeopathic practice.